Hello everyone, this is Biko Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk quickly about Shazam Fury of the Gods and whether it will have any chance of matching or surpassing the success of the original, and what this will mean in terms of the first of the final installment, it seems, of the current Snyderverse within the DC cinematic universe. Now there might be spoilers for the first film and all other content within the DCEU, so just beware when going into this overall video. So then, when we talk about Shazam Fury of the Gods, it is of course a sequel to the 2019 original, which was very much of a surprise success at the box office, grossing over $366 million, and whilst that may not be the mega grosses of the Marvel films, it only had around a budget of 90 to 100 million, so it did very much make its money back and indeed see some sort of profit, hence the reason why we're getting this sequel in the first place. But I think also another significant aspect was the fact that Shazam isn't really what you would consider an A-list DC character, nowhere near along the lines of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, but not even really close when we talk about the likes of The Flash, Green Arrow or Green Lantern, or even the likes of Supergirl or Batgirl. The film itself is of course based on a comic book character, Billy Batson, chosen by wizards to gain the powers of a superhero by saying the word Shazam. And really the film endeared audiences by being a much more Marvel-esque tone in terms of its brighter, more optimistic feeling. Very much a palate cleanser to an extent from the earlier, darker, grittier DC films that we saw within the Snyderverse. And whilst I didn't really rate it highly in terms of a film, it was to an extent much more lighthearted and entertaining. So we look at the sequel, which arrives in theatres on March the 17th, already having the first trailer a few months back. And from that, we could definitely see that this sequel is very much more of an upgrade in terms of the budget, effects and action, but at the same time carrying that same light-hearted, very flippant tone as what the first film did. But in that first trailer, there wasn't really a clear outline of the main story. And when we look at the second trailer that was recently released, and it definitely presented similar vibes. We have lots of CGI explosions and effects and fight scenes. We see Shazam crashing through the buildings and in football stadiums as well. And whilst you can see they are definitely going for a much more larger scale in terms of the sequel, it did give slight generic vibes of CGI smashing and bashing as what we saw similarly with Black Adam. I didn't really like the choice of music either, a rendition of the song Started From the Bottom by Drake. It just didn't really give that overall comic book vibe, not very much in keeping with the tone of the first film. And it does raise slight concern as will we see an overloading in terms of the CGI fights, particularly in the third and final act. Now we do kind of establish Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu as the main villains. They will be, I believe, the daughters of Atlas, who will be battling against the Shazam family as they have certain artifacts to gain in order to take over the world. So nothing really special or enlightening in terms of the plot that we know so far, but who knows, there may be something surprising when we go to watch the other movie. But overall, I think both actresses still look good in their costumes, and they certainly give that feeling as if they're enjoying themselves within the role. And that probably goes the same for Zachary Levi as well, again in a lead role with a much improved costume. They've dialed down on the padding and just made it far more of a leaner look, which I think is far more suitable for the character. I can also say the same for the Shazam family themselves, which look very good as well in all of their costume outlooks. Will this have any ramifications as we head towards the end of the Snyderverse? I very much doubt it, and from everything I've seen from both trailers, it does definitely seem that Shazam will very much have its own standalone identity, which to be honest is a benefit to the film. I think it can just stand on its own. Its light-hearted tone is very much different than what we saw with previous Snyder efforts, so I really wouldn't go into this movie looking for too much reference as to what will happen later on down the line with the likes of The Flash and also Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom. So whilst it has lots of bright sparkling effects, I would expect this to have the same kind of comedic tone as the first film. Nothing too substantial, nothing too heavy-handed, but just something that's very family-friendly and light-hearted on its feet. Something you can kind of go and enjoy once and not think about it too much after that. But that's the same feelings I kind of had with the first film as well. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings on the second full trailer for Shazam. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it will have any chance of matching or even surpassing the success of the first film? Or do you think it will kind of end up repeating the same beats and not end up being anything too spectacular in the roster of comic book movies that we will see within 2023? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And of course, when the film does release, I will provide both non-spoiler and spoiler reviews as the normal process. So look out for those within the future on the channel. And if you have any further television, movies or series, or any other topics or issues that you'd like to see me cover within the entertainment industry, then also drop me a suggestion and I will see if I can provide further coverage for you on those topics within the future. Please consider hitting like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves and I will see you very, very soon.